This isn't even Man United bashing,
No,
but come on, no. If
great.
KSI and Logan Paul could be professional boxers,
That's mate. I still don't qualify.
don't you think Paddy would look hot as a 4-4-2's character?
I think it said hot AF.
So all of that and more coming up as myself and Paddy go through some of your Q&A questions because it's Friday and it's Q&A, and I'm going to start with Fatima Farouk, who said, do you think Man United flops can revive their careers in Serie A?
So I guess we're talking about Sanchez and Lukaku here.
But this is Man United, so there could be more flops. But maybe
already,
Darmian too.
We've already started off with some Man United bashing, just off the top of the show. No. But I will concentrate on Sanchez and Lukaku in general. I think the goals have come for Lukaku at Inter. He hasn't had the most fantastic 90-minute showings yet. Obviously, the victim of some fairly terrible, racism at Cagliari last week. But scored that penalty, and I think that would have done a lot for his confidence as well. I think he was otherwise fairly in and out of the game, but to be honest, a fairly solid start for him at Inter. Sanchez, it would be great to see him come back if he can stay fit. There's no reason why he can't excel in Serie A. We saw with Vidal, who of course is a different player to Sanchez positionally, but actually they have quite a lot of the same traits in the way they actually attack the ball and try to dictate the game through them. And I think actually if he can stay fit, then why not? I think that could be a good story for both of them.
I feel like what it's done is highlight the fact that even if you're a good player, if you're in the wrong team with the wrong coach, you're not going to be a good player.
Correct.
So Inter Milan and Conte must have sat down and he must have said, look, give me those players, I can definitely make it work.
Do not underestimate both consistency of fitness and confidence in how a player can perform.
And playing week in, week out as well.
Too. Yeah. Okay, so from Andreas Giuliani, which English team has the most difficult group in the UCL?
Ooh. Okay, Man City, no, never. They never have a difficult group. Spurs is with Bayern, Olympiacos and Red Star Belgrade, maybe not the toughest. Liverpool, of course, to have Napoli. I think, and it's probably one of the most exciting groups, is Chelsea's group. Chelsea alongside Ajax, Valencia and Lille.
Yeah, tough one, definitely.
Yeah, really, I think quite evenly matched teams. I'd still put Chelsea, actually, I wouldn't put Chelsea as strongest. Ajax. I put Ajax as the strongest as last season's semi-finalists. Chelsea are a good top 6 side. Valencia top 4 and Lille can run us up to PSG.
Both of them could be anything. You just don't know what it's going to be like. So
I'd say it's the most difficult because it's the most wide open. Absolutely. But before we get on to anything else, make sure you smash the subscribe button because we've got loads of other content coming up, the daily news, the Q&A and all sorts of other bits. So yes, thank you so much. But we'll continue.
Back to me.
You will.
Yeah, from Sibielva Oh wow. Yeah. I'm sorry. Sibielva Dlamini. I'm going for that.
That's right.
Is Daniel James the next Messi?
Wow. This isn't even Man United bashing, but come on. No, he's not the next Messi.
No one's the next Messi.
Yeah, he's a good player. He's a fantastic start to the season, moving from...
He's been very good, hasn't he? Yeah.
Not the higher end of the Championship, I will say, with Swansea. Far from the higher end. Mid to lower Championship to, is it 3 in his first 4?
Yeah.
At Man United. United shouldn't put that much pressure on a youngster. They have far more players who should be stepping up on a more regular basis, and they don't need... Daniel James doesn't need comparisons to Messi 4 years into his United career.
He certainly had a great start. It's really refreshing to see some young talent actually on those flanks coming through. I think it's really cool.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. You're up now.
That would be a typical English thing to do.
What's that?
He's the next Messi.
Yeah.
He's the next...
Well, not just English. I think most people, they just love the idea of the next Messi. There won't be one, let's be honest.
Next up from Saviasachi, 23. Klopp recently stated that he'll take a break from management after his contract expires in 2022. Do you think club management has become tougher these days than it was 10 years ago? Will we ever see managers staying in a club for more years like Sir Alex or Arsene Wenger?
Tough one, isn't it?
Because I mean, a lot.
You and I have never managed clubs, let alone at a level like those guys. But I think certainly with the amount of media attention, with the way that the press has developed, even from the point where it was very brutal at that stage for Sir Alex and for Arsene Wenger, but also look at what's available on Twitter and social media and all that sort of stuff. The pressure is even more constant than it was back there. Not to mention the amount of money that is invested into the game, and with that comes even more responsibility, how you spend it, how you make it, etc., etc. I actually think the days of those long-term managers are unfortunately probably past us. Yeah.
And because people expect so much.
Correct.
You get like a season and a bit, and if you falter, you're out.
I mean, how often do we hear, a manager signing a new 5-year deal, and then within a year and a half they're gone?
I'd like to see the percentage of managers that actually make it through a deal.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah,
unbelievable.
So I think it's unfortunately, I think if anyone's going to do it, the Klopps and the Guardiolas will, but also they want other challenges too. They get burnt out. They are 150% into this job every day. They get burnt out, and they also need to step away at some point as well. So.
I think that as well. I think the demands and what it takes to be a top manager probably consumes more of their energy and their life and their commitment than it would have 20 years ago.
Yep, 100%.
Well, players have cycles, so should managers.
Exactly. From Johnny Nick, how much will Laporte's injury affect Man City's season? Big one.
They didn't sign a backup, and Mangala left on the free. They were so desperate to get rid of him back to Valencia. So I think it will affect them. It will. They've got a starting top quality, one of the best centre-backs in the league who's injured for a while. It's surely to affect them. Whether it will affect them massively, I'm not overly sure, because the way that Manchester City play, they're normally on the front foot. So
they've got a couple of young kids, of course, there, and who got a few minutes during pre-season.
Yeah, that's true.
And now it's time, to be honest.
I think someone actually commented in one of our daily news saying they may struggle against the best. Laporte is going to be a big miss against basically the rest of the top six, we're saying. No offence to the rest of them. But in the other games where they're going to dominate, be on the front foot, and the centre-backs literally just got to pass the ball and keep it moving, I'm not sure it'll affect him too much.
And let's be honest, he's probably back by the start of the new year.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And, it's not like City are going to be out of the title race at that point or out of the Champions League as well. So the best of the season ahead is still to come.
He'll be back from the business end.
Exactly.
But of course, losing a top centre-back isn't
isn't
ideal. Hasnan Murtaza said, if you were to play a professional club game, which stadium would you choose to play in? Not the team, which stadium?
I think the first problem would be playing a professional game, which would require...
If KSI and Logan Paul could be professional boxers...
That's, mate... I still don't qualify, to be honest. That would take a lot of revolutionary surgery for that to happen. But if I could even play an amateur one, that's a good question. I mean, Westfalenstadion, of course, at Dortmund in front of a big crowd, the Maracana, I think would be fantastic. What else? Turkey, in those Turkish derbies, when they are packed to the rafters and going bananas.
You're going for atmosphere.
I am. I mean, I remember when Timo Werner, I think it was Werner, right, when he played for Leipzig in Turkey last season, and he had to cover his ears because his ears were hurting.
Oh my God.
So that's the level of noise, and I think something like that would be incredible. I would love to do that,
True, but we went to the Ajax Stadium. They've got a hot tub in the bathroom, so...
Change my answer. Anything with a hot tub, please. I'd spend more time in there than on the pitch anyway, so
I will go for I'm not sure how to say it, the Estadio Azteca in Mexico. 105,000.
And one of the big traditional powerhouse
That's
stadiums.
nuts. That would be cool. I'm down for that.
So from Chris Holm, quickfire, on a scale from 1 to 5, how good could these players have been if injuries / bad behaviour didn't get in the way? 1 being okay and 5 being world beater. Okay, so Balotelli first.
He's actually got in the way of, but he still wouldn't have been a world beater. 3.
Okay, Coman.
Oh, there's a long way to go. He's only 21. He can be brilliant. 4.
Okay, Götze. Good one, Götze. World Cup winner and World Cup final winner. Was he ever going to be that level? I'm not sure. 3. Okay, Adriano.
He did have everything to be the next Ronaldo. 4.
And R9.
The original Ronaldo. He was a world beater though.
He was a world beater.
He won the World Cup and smashed leagues for like 5 years, but then towards the end of his career got a bit overweight and injured. 5. He was.
Agreed.
He was.
He was literally the best striker in the world.
For actually the youngest recipient of the Ballon d'Or.
There you go. World beater.
21.
World beater.
General world beater. Right, next up, Anurag Saikia said, with this new option of signing players on loan with an option to buy later, I'm not sure that's a new option. I just think it's just become more popular.
Yes, correct.
Will the system of full transfers disappear in coming years? Please answer. Been asking for 2 months, never got a question picked. Today is the day, Anurag.
Yep. So, there have been a lot of these signings. You talked about this in an earlier video this week in the transfer review.
Actually, we'll link that down below. That's you doing the plug for me.
Yeah, 100%.
Okay, yeah. Link it down below.
Yeah. In answer to that, I think, and going off some of the points that you made in the video earlier in the week, I think it's a bit more of a fail-safe or risk
management.
Risk management, exactly. Tactic by a lot of clubs. Instead of getting in these players who will command a lot of money in their salary, quite often also expensive to bring in, it's a good way to bring them in, see how they fit, see how they perform, and if they do, then there's an option to keep them. If they don't, there's only a certain amount of money that has been spent. I think also it's good for some players to go out and get some time on loan, and I think that's super positive, and maybe increase their value, like you sort of mentioned as well. And I think the third point, what was the third point?
The third point actually was that they offset like finances.
That's it.
Because clubs spend so much money. Yeah. You can effectively add the money that you'd pay for a big player onto next year's.
It's like basically in a lot of the American sports where they load contracts, front load or end load. So you're spending a lot of money at the start or at the end, and you're saving money for your budgets and for financial fair play, and avoiding to get into trouble there. Yeah. Because when you're a club who's already spent 130, 140 million on players, spending another 100 is not an option. So bring a player in for 15, 20. Potentially with an option to buy in a new season, and that might be a big transfer.
Neymar was the best example.
Exactly. Yeah.
They would have paid next summer had they got him.
Of course. Yeah. Alicia Mack 123, who was going to win the Europa League.
Ooh. I always find it difficult to call the Europa League now because you've got Champions League dropouts after the winter.
Super tough.
Which means that if someone's surprising, that group with Inter Milan, Dortmund and Barcelona, and I can't remember the other team. Slavia Prague.
Yes.
No offense to them, I think they'll finish bottom.
Yep.
Whichever one of those three drops out, I think could be in a massive. Can you imagine if it's Barca?
Yeah, well.
Dortmund or Inter, I'm guessing.
Probably.
One of those two, and maybe from that Chelsea group. Someone big from the Champions League. It's hard to call now.
So who would you say at least who's in the Europa League
who's in it now?
Candidates.
The favourites, I'd have to go with Arsenal and Man United again.
Okay. Yep, makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds a bit disrespectful, but
I definitely think Arsenal,
the English clubs made it to all 4 spots of European finals last year.
Got form on their side.
Yeah. See one of those two. But we'll wait and see until after Christmas. Right, next up from me, not sure if this is a word, FNAFZX. 308. Who is your favourite 442s character?
Great, another nice segue to one of our other great pieces of content on this channel. I want to say Thomas Müller is always my favourite. Big fan of Thomas Müller.
His eyebrows freak me out.
Yeah, but his accent, I think they really nail that. I mean, Müller himself is a character, and seeing a caricature of a character, I like that. I like that a lot, yeah.
Okay, that's kind of good.
Yeah, are you...
I was hoping you'd say mine.
No, definitely not. Least favourite, yeah. Aaron Hughes, are you locked up in Dean's basement? Just to be clear, Dean is, of course, the creator of 442s. He's the one who does the fantastic animations for our channel and the stories for our channel. So, are we locked up in Dean's basement? No. Dean's not locked up in ours.
That was actually me, though, on that community post that he made.
That's true,
Yesterday.
Yeah.
No,
so,
we're not.
Last question then on that.
Right, from Alon Shfaki. Matt, don't you think Paddy would look hot as a 442s character?
I think it said hot AF.
Hot AF, that means as
Yeah, I know, but you're not meant to say it.
Sorry, hot AF.
Yeah.
You're not down with the kids.
You are definitely not down with the kids.
Would look hot AF as a 442s character.
Don't you think? The question is for you. You read it, but the question is for you.
Okay, the question is for me. Yeah, why not?
Yeah, I think I would too. You could eliminate some of my flaws,
The thing is with a character, like, as I say, with mine on the community post, it could be any guy with brown hair and a stubble.
Sure.
It's quite nondescript.
I wouldn't mind like bigger shoulders, maybe. Got the
broaden you out.
Chin, yeah, exactly.
Chisel it.
Maybe a little bit. You bring back the hairline just a little bit as well. Yeah.
Then yes,
I wouldn't mind that.
Hot AF.
Dean, you heard us down there. Please make me a character. Yeah.
Perfect. We will end it there. Thank you so much, though, for leaving all of your questions on the community tab. Of course, every Wednesday night on YouTube, you can look out for our community post where you leave your questions for Friday. But that's all. Let's see you next time.
Thanks, everyone.